Yo, Navatos, thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let's get into the topic of today's ride. Issues with reaching the floor. Issues with just reach. Let's just call it as it is. I'm 5'7", not the tallest person. I'm actually relatively short compared to a lot of different YouTubers, and I believe, I don't know, maybe my height is the average height around here in the United States. Maybe I'm giving myself a little bit more credit than it is, but yeah, you know what, I'm 5'7", not the tallest person. I can still reach the floor on my lowrider S, and some of you guys have a lot of concerns out there about reach, about, you know, being able to handle the bike, being able to kind of flat foot the bike. And you know what, a lot of people have this concern, you know, but I always kind of refer to people over to Laidlaw's video where Marcos, he owns a lowrider that's actually lifted, and it has, you know, the same bar setup. It's just his doesn't have the kickback, kind of like mine. He has the straight risers, 10-inch. Looks like a big bike, and he's only 5'5", 5'4", and he can handle that thing just fine. He does a lot of canyon riding, a lot of turns, you know, a lot of different situations that he puts himself in with the bike, and he performs just well. There's no issues. Now, I know it's different for everybody. A lot of people, you know, a lot of shorter riders like myself, we have some concerns with reach, with, you know, safety, mainly just safety, and sometimes depending on what you're putting yourself in, or if you're commuting to work, maybe there's a couple hills, maybe there's some angled off ramps where you're worried about being able to flat foot the bike. Now, I've also seen another female rider that rides around on a road glide. Big, huge bike. She's probably maybe 5 feet tall, and she probably weighs about maybe 90 to 100 pounds. Tiny little girl, or, you know, sorry, tiny little lady. And she's performing wheelies. She's stunt racing. She's stunt, whatever you call it, stunt biking. I don't know. She's doing burnouts. She's doing wheelies, and it's all on a road glide. And I'm just kind of like, holy crap, that's impressive. You know, myself being 5'7", and kind of, you know, just having some concerns, mainly with the bars. I had a few concerns, but all of that is behind me now. And some of you guys are out there are still, you know, wondering about the ride, the height, the ability to flat foot the bike, and just having that security of not tipping over on a red light, or, you know, similar situation. And, you know, there's a few things that I would give you guys. I would being 5'7", there's a few things that I could probably share with you guys. Now, you guys know that I ride with boots, and you guys also know that I've dropped my bike, this one right here. And, you know, when that happened, it was a combination of I believe three or four things. My footwear, having chucks on, my sense of security, thinking that I'd have, you know, a good foundation when maneuvering the bike, and having my phone in my hand, not having a full grip on the handlebars. But honestly, I honestly believe that if I was 6 feet tall, I wouldn't have done that. And that's mainly because my placement of my feet, the placement of my legs, the placement of the bike, everything factored in, and not having that grip on the handlebars because I have the phone in my hand factored in on me dropping the bike. So now I try to tend to stay or stick with my boots, and that gives me about an inch of extra reach, of extra length on my legs. So if anything, if you guys, before you guys change your bike, before you guys start modifying the bike, try different footwear. Try having some boots on. Try, you know, having a little bit of height support. try slipping in something into the shoes that you might help you out with a little bit of reach. Maybe you just need a little bit more to feel comfortable riding the bike. So try your footwear before changing anything else. Now, if that doesn't work, and you're really 5'5" or 5'4", or just something that it's not giving you confidence on riding the bike, it's prohibiting you from riding the bike, then I would start thinking about making modifications to the bike, mainly the seat. There's a few seats, they're called reach seats, where you're moved up towards the tank, and the padding between the seat and yourself is a little bit shorter, so you have a little bit extra reach, for foot placement. You could do that. Now, I would suggest you doing the boots and the seat first before modifying the spring, and that's mainly because you're compromising the ride, the comfort when you start changing the spring. And I did that with my Sportster. I wanted my bike slammed. I want it low, I want it mean, and I wanted it loud. And that's what I went ahead and I did on my Sportster. I dropped that thing about 3 inches, completely compromised the ride. Every time I would go over a little bump, I would feel it in my neck. That's how bad it was. I'm not sure if you guys ever felt a jolt of pain, kind of like hitting a speed bump or hitting something. You feel it in your neck. It's a pain that you feel it in your neck, you feel it in your jaws, and that's mainly because you bottom out the bike, and your body just travels. You feel the shock. What the shock's supposed to be doing, you feel it in your spine, and if you guys ever felt that, go ahead and leave your comments down below. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you guys ever felt that jolt of pain in your jaw, in your neck, when you bottom out the bike, and you just feel it. It's happened to me about 3-4 times on my Sportster, and you know what? I'm the one to blame. I'm the one that wanted that bike. It's just something about us Mexicans, us Latinos. We like our trucks, but we like them slammed. It's something that we do, and I know a lot of white folks, a lot of you guys like them lifted with the big wheels, the monster truck, and I like both of the styles. But you know what? I digress. Let's keep on going back into reach, rider height, things to do, tips. Now, if all of that stuff doesn't work, the seat, the spring, like I said, that's probably the last thing you want to do is alter the spring. And you can get lowering kits. You can get a clamp that pinches your spring and it lowers it. There's a lot of things that you could try. Is that my old bike? That's honestly the last option for you guys to do is the spring. So on top of changing the seat, on top of changing the spring, you guys are just gonna have to get used to the bike. And like I mentioned, look at Marcos. Towards the beginning of the video, he's shorter than I am, and his bike's actually taller than mine. So you guys just have to get out there and ride the bike. And I know it's gonna be scary. I know you're gonna have that lack of confidence while riding the bike, but it's just something that you have to grow accustomed to. You have to get used to it, and it's something that you're eventually going to grow and get used to. Some of you guys are just going to have to tippy-toe the bike. Now, after the seat and after the boots and after the spring, I honestly believe you should be able to reach the bike by then. But just ride the bike, get confident with it, build that confidence. Get that routine where if you start seeing a curve or start seeing a hill or start seeing something, you kind of position yourself in a manner where it's going to benefit you, and you're not too worried about it. You're not too afraid, or you don't have that the lack of confidence when you're riding the bike. So just get out there and ride, and if anything, if you absolutely need a little bit of help, try the boots first. That doesn't help, change the seat maybe, and then if you still worried about the bike, about riding, then I would say try the spring. And if all that fails, and you're honestly really worried about ride height, then just start with the Sportster. It's probably a little bit lower, maybe about an inch. It's not a huge difference, but it doesn't weigh. The Sportster doesn't weigh as much. Maybe that's what you need the confidence with. Maybe having 100 pounds less would help you out. It just depends, but honestly, get the bike you want. Get that big air-cooled V-twin engine. Get that Dyna. Get that Softail. Get what you believe is going to make you happy. Try that stuff out. Give it a couple miles. Give it a couple months. Eventually, you're gonna get that confidence on riding the bike. So get out there and ride. Don't believe everything you read. Stay vigilant. Later.